Good morning, Southern California, your hometown station, KHTS. I'm your host, Fred Arnold, on the Santa Clarita Business and Real Estate Show. I'm joined by a frequent guest who's, without a doubt, the premier expert in Southern California, in my opinion, on reverse mortgages. Steve Schaefer with American Family Funding, reverse mortgage specialist. It's all he does. It's all he focuses on. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks so much. Always happy to be here, Fred, and appreciate the invitations.
In this last bit of our show, we want to talk about how somebody can use a reverse for purchase to buy a home.
Yeah, it's something a lot of people are not aware of. They always think of a reverse mortgage. You're going to refinance an existing home or whatever and stay where you are. You love where you are. But a lot of times people, maybe they had their house is too big. They don't need that big house anymore. Mm-hmm. And they can think about downsizing or getting something. What I find a lot of people want to move to a one-story.
Yeah.
If they've got a huge house, 2 stories, as you get older, empty nest, and it's a great way to go. Typical requirements though are 62 years and older. You got to be purchasing your primary residence, mm-hmm. where you're going to live there at least 6 months out of the year, and you got to pay your taxes and properly maintain the property. A lot of people do it and look at it, and a couple of things that are different. You mentioned the reverse mortgage. That's all I do, because a reverse for purchase is a little bit different than a standard purchase. A couple of things involved. You have to do the counseling. Once you get the counseling, you can get a pre-approval letter.
Well, let me just tell you, you did one recently, a reverse for purchase. That was done in like 30 days.
Yeah.
Which is lightning fast.
When we do it, and our processors, everybody knows, they get the priority, and they go to the front of the line, if you will. I've done about half a dozen reverse purchases in the last few years, and they're all really great outcomes. The thing is, you got to work closely. You got to have a realtor who understands it. Take some time and coach the realtor. You're looking at no seller concessions, basically. You're going to negotiate on price. Get the best price you can, because the buyer in the reverse process is going to be paying a lot of the actual escrow costs. Mm-hmm. So with that said, let them negotiate. The other thing you want to look for, too, is someone who is patient and understands that in some cases we were able to do it in 30 days, but it can go out to 45 days.
Yeah. So if you can do a 45-day commitment, that's typically a little more reasonable on time frame.
Yeah, and it's worked out. I had like one where the seller was actually having a new home built that wasn't ready. So that was like kind of an ideal situation. It becomes almost seamless for to work the transaction out. But I'm reminded of a couple who in their 60s, and they were looking to downsize. Both of the kids were out of the house now. And what they did was we met and we talked about maybe doing a reverse on their own home. But they really got to talking. It was too big. They didn't need it. They still had a substantial mortgage on their home. It was about $1 million home. And they were making the monthly mortgage payments, and it was putting a strain on them. And they didn't need the house. The husband had retired, and the wife was just kind of working part-time. So we said, well, why don't you sell the house and take the profit and then buy another house? But instead of putting all of the money in, like a cash buy, use a reverse for purchase, and you could save half the money. And that's what we ended up doing. Got a good realtor who sold their house and then acted as their agent on buying the new house.
Well, let's talk about some of the advantages. They were able to get a big boost to their retirement plan.
Exactly. What happened is they had about a $500,000 mortgage to pay off. They walked away with about $500,000. They bought a house that was in the $500,000 range. They put $250,000 down, and they had a nice substantial boost to their retirement income.
Yeah.
So not only did they get a house that was kind of right-sized for them, and one story, but they also had some additional funds to put into their retirement, and it really worked out well.
Now, we're finding before the loan limits, and we'll only have about a minute, but before we had the loan limits that went to 679 here in LA County, right? Yeah. Which helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have new products that go up even higher.
Yeah, and that's another one. There's another, it's not a FHA, federally insured reverse mortgage, as most of the reverse mortgages are for lower lending limits. It's a home safe product, which is a proprietary mortgage, and that is having great appeal to people who have higher valued homes in the $1 million to $1.5 million. In the past, there were such things as jumbo reverse mortgages, but you had to have a $2 or $3 million home. but I would have a lot of people come to me, and they were kind of in that mid-range where they were 900,000 to $1.5 million, and it was a little bit above the FHA limit, but not strong enough for the jumbo limit. And this product is well positioned for it. So
Yeah, good. And those that want to find out more, call Steve. Steve, how can they reach you?
direct line 661-505-4308. And you can send me an email too. It's real easy to remember. Steve, Steve at AFFloans.com.
Nobody knows reverse mortgages better than Steve. Thanks for coming in.
Okay. Thanks, Fred.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you enjoyed this last hour of the Santa Clarita Business and Real Estate Show. Watch us online at hometownstation.com. I'm your host, Fred Arnold. Until we speak again, make it a great day from AM 1220 KHTS.